the last show you should be watching this week for all things pop culture. I'd like to introduce our players. This is Anthony.
Hello.
Stephanie.
Hello.
Josh.
Hi.
And I'm Justin. So, every week we're going to take it down a little trek of pop culture goodness. And I guess we will start this week's episode by talking about fall TV. What we're looking forward to, what we're dreading. Anthony, what are you looking forward to this season?
I don't know. I'd say the top of the list would be Constantine.
Constantine. Have you seen the leaked trailer? Or the leaked first episode?
Can we say that?
Sure.
If you had hypothetically seen the leaked first episode, how would you feel about it?
If I had hypothetically had seen that, I would say that I, hypothetically enjoyed watching that. There were aspects of it that were kind of meh, but for the most part, I enjoyed it.
Cool.
If hypothetically speaking.
Well, Anthony, Stephanie, and I are all three big comic book people. I've been collecting for about a year and a half. Anthony collected for a long time growing up and stopped for a while there, but still keeps up with it. And Stephanie is the biggest Constantine fan I know. Josh can't even spell his name.
I know comic books, just not.
But you know who
who
Constantine is, though, right?
I know the movie with Keanu Reeves.
Let's pretend that the movie with Keanu Reeves never happened. Which is not to say that I hate that movie.
No, it's got Rachel Weisz in it.
And it
can't be
has
horrible.
Tilda Swinton playing androgynous Gabriel.
Basically, everything you'll hear from me is based on movies because I don't read books.
All right, well, Stephanie, can you just give us a real quick 30-second intro to the character of Constantine? Who is he?
He's a mage, and he is
which is a fancy way of saying magician.
Well, he's better than just a normal average magician.
Okay.
But he's this wizardy type figure who sort of stands between the legions of hell and humanity. He's very British. He's very dry, and he smokes like a fucking freight train.
All right.
That's basically Constantine. And he's bisexual. In all of the Hellblazer comics, he's bisexual. It's not a big deal, but they were erasing that from the new series, and I'm a little upset about it.
Okay. Is he also a little bit mentally unstable as a character, as a person, or is that something he just played off in the first episode we saw?
Well, no, I think he had himself committed just because he was tired.
Oh, okay.
Wouldn't be from seeing demons or anything like that?
Well, no, he knows they're all real. A lot of people who are... I think in the Constantine universe, a lot of people who are in mental institutions see the real world.
Okay.
But I think he was just looking for a vacation.
I watched it too. I thought it was great. I didn't think it was great. I thought it had...
It has potential.
I thought it had everything it needed to become great, but it wasn't quite there yet.
Supposedly NBC is retooling it. They're taking out the potential love interest with the girl.
And the angel. One of the biggest problems I had with it was the angel, played by Harold Perrineau, who we all know from Lost. He was also in Sons of Anarchy. He was in Sons of Anarchy.
He was the most least threatening gangster ever.
He was, but he was in it. But he played a character that wasn't Zoriel. But he basically was Zoriel from The Phantom Stranger and from Constantine, at least in the New 52. He appears a lot. So I found that to be a little bit odd and disconcerting. But overall, I thought it was cool. I like the nods towards the broader DCU. The Dr. Fate helmet was cool. So I have high hopes for it. I'm definitely going to give it a shot.
I liked their Chaz a lot.
Did you?
Because Chaz is a great character, and I like that they included him.
I do too.
I don't know.
He didn't last very long, though.
Well, he's not
come
dead.
Yeah, all right.
He comes back in the episode, so
okay.
He's not, he's only
mostly dead.
All right. So Anthony, you said Constantine. Anything else?
I'm trepidatious about Doctor Who.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't enjoy the last season of Doctor Who.
You did?
I will fist bump you for trepidatious about Doctor Who.
I'll take smacks on this probably, but I am not the big Whovian. I tried it, and I'm going to get into it. It's on the schedule of things to catch up on.
You're not alone.
It's daunting, though, because even with the new iteration of it since Christopher Eccleston, there's still a lot of material. Even with a season that lasted 3 episodes, which is not how long, the last series only a few episodes long?
No. They
Oh,
do
okay.
Christmas specials, and then they
Okay.
did the new Who
Oh, all right.
special. So,
So it's still daunting. I watched the first episode of the Christopher Eccleston Doctor, and he's, chasing around the goddamn mannequin in a department store with a girl who looks like she just popped up a Debbie Gibson video.
do not talk bad about Rose Tyler.
Well, so again, first episode, I'll probably take slack for that, but so far it was just like, oh, okay. I guess I really got to be in the zone to watch it. Maybe Josh and I will popcorn out and watch it sometime together.
I feel like no matter what we do, though, we're stepping into something that is overhyped. Maybe not saying that as a big deal. But when you build something
These
up,
fighting words, you're cute, boy.
no, I'm just saying if you build something up and then I go see it, no matter what the movie or TV show is, it's usually disappointing me.
Yeah, it's always going to let you down.
Everyone loves it. Everyone's
Yeah.
like, it's the best thing ever. And I tried to watch it, and that's the experience I had. And I don't know what Doctor I tried to watch or what show it was, but I wasn't the first one. It was one of the more recent ones, but I didn't get it. I didn't get the allure, but I'll give it a second chance. But I need to know from you guys which one to start with.
I would start with the
Start from the
series
beginning.
1 of the new Who.
Which is
The new-
Eccleston, right?
Christopher Eccleston.
It is all on Netflix.
Yeah.
So
Christopher
we
Eccleston.
really don't have an
Piper.
excuse other
Yeah,
than...
we got Netflix.
So I guess we're going to have to do that. So that our compatriots here don't...
I mean, the thing that I
If
think
y'all
that
will watch Vikings.
Oh, yeah.
I'm working on
I will
that.
watch
Okay.
Vikings.
Yeah.
I mean, I've watched episode 1. That was really good.
With Doctor Who, like, I think you kind of have to realize that it is made for a really broad age group. So it's made for kids, like tons of kids are into it, but then it's made for adults too. So it's working on 2 levels. But there's definitely a campy aspect to Doctor Who.
There's always been a campy. I mean, the first Dalek, the sensor that looks like a plunger, really was a plunger.
It was a plunger, yeah. But I mean, they had like 14 pounds to make that. So,
Which is what, about $21 in American in U.S. currency.
but I'm with you on being trepidatious about the new series. I've not enjoyed the direction that Stephen Moffat has been taking the show in general.
It's a
And
week.
I'm excited about Capaldi. Like, I'm excited that the Doctor is not like a young heartthrob. Because we're really going in the young heartthrob direction. So
Because Matt Smith is such a heartthrob.
he kind of...
That David Tennant, though, he
No,
just
but
gets my blood a-boiling.
That's a different story.
Well, but Matt Smith kind of became a heartthrob. And then he
He did.
had all these, like, quasi-sexual relationships with his companions for a while. And I'm really glad that they're moving away from that. And Capaldi has said that that's not going to be part of, that's not going to be part of the show.
Kind of sounds like the USA Up All Night.
Next topic.
Everybody's a fucking critic.
All right, Ant, what else you got for us? Or is that it?
Next season of Game of Thrones.
It's going to be good. It started filming. I saw an HBO bumper the other night that showed, a wide shot of them shooting at Castle Black. So it said Game of Thrones Season 5 in production now. I was like, oh, God.
They're going to catch up to... They're going to catch up to George R.R. Martin.
Yeah, did you hear Weird Al?
I saw that. That was great. The typewriter. And he took it well, I thought.
He did.
Yeah.
That we know of.
Yeah. Well, for
Little
the
do we
cameras,
know
he
was
took it
probably
well.
beating him afterwards
yeah,
with the
but-
typewriter.
But from what I've heard of him and then seeing his reaction, he took it well at least for the cameras.
There were so many people cosplaying as George R.R. Martin at Dragon Con that
I
I
can
was
cosplay as George R.R. Martin.
the beard.
I was
He's got to dye the beard.
I was surprised
And wear
that people
suspenders.
were just like
And a hat.
pouncing on him and like giving
Which
him
works, because then you can...
giving him a beating because everybody's so like you're gonna die before you
Write them
finish these
faster, write them faster.
All right, well, let's move on. Stephanie.
books. I have so much TV I'm excited about this fall.
All right, well, let's get to
I'm
it.
sorry. It's number 1 on my list. It's always gonna be, as long as they keep putting it on the air, Supernatural.
Oh.
Sorry.
Not Community?
Not Community, no.
Oh.
We'll get to Community.
Okay.
But Supernatural's coming into its 10th season. It's premiering. They're doing like a retrospective of the past 9 seasons.
Oh, cool.
On the 6th of October, and then it premieres on the 7th.
I didn't know that.
And it's The Flash is premiering with it. They're not pairing Flash and Arrow because I think they're trying to split that audience. But yeah, 10th season. They just finished filming their 200th episode. Like, that's a big fucking deal.
It is.
And like, I looked up like a list of shows that have made it to 200 episodes. The only other genre show that's made it is The X-Files. And they only made like 202 episodes of it.
Does Smallville fall into that? Smallville did 10 episodes.
10 episodes?
10 seasons.
I don't know. It wasn't on the list.
Smallville did 10 seasons on the WB/CW.
Were the seasons this long though? Were they 22 to 24 episode long?
I think so. I don't know. I have them all.
Were you talking about the
I haven't
longest for
watched
this
all of them.
network? I kind of missed that part.
It is longest for
but
this.
not for all time.
Yeah, it's longer than Buffy.
I know a lot of shows.
I mean, Buffy was
7
the show that
seasons.
brought the WB and CW. I'm going to use the word notoriety.
That's not true.
Oh,
Because when the WB became the CW, Buffy moved to UPN. Angel stayed on CW.
Angel.
So it was weird because they were on 2 different networks for a while.
Anyway, Supernatural. You got me into Supernatural. I remember listening to you talk about it, and you were like, "You have to watch this. You have to watch this." And you gave the first season DVD. I took it home, and me and my wife sat down. We put it in, and after that first episode, it became my crack. You know, it was. I'm popping a vein, looking for the IV to straight line.
Yeah.
Supernatural. We watched 3 episodes, and I made her watch it, and she's dropped off. She doesn't watch it anymore, but I have stayed true to it. That summer, you gave it to me in the summer, and by the time it premiered in the fall,
You had caught up.
I had caught up like 4 or 5 seasons. No, like at least 3, maybe 4 or 5 seasons worth. I killed in a 2-month span, which is a whole lot of. It's a whole lot of fucking Supernatural to absorb.
Yeah, but I like, and season 7 was weird. The season with the Leviathans, and season 8, like,
Yeah.
and season 9, I really liked season 9 overall. Like, I liked it more the second time I watched it. But I still think they're making great TV.
Okay, well,
Characters are really interesting, and so, I want to watch whatever it is they're doing.
But that's super interesting. I mean, do you think it's because it was initially intended for how long? I mean, Kripke has
I think it
said
was a 5-season plan.
he had a 5-episode arc.
and it would have been a perfect.
It was supposed to
series
end
ender.
right after with Dean hooking back up with Chicky Poo in Indiana with the kid who was just like him, who she says is in Lisa, and Sam standing outside
looking in the window.
and it would have been the perfect ending. And then they went on.
Yeah.
Of course, they had a failed spinoff last season too.
Yes, and
So what does that say about the show? I mean, is it?
Well, that was a terrible backdoor pilot.
Even the X-Files had a spin-off that lasted, a pilot?
Yeah, I mean, like if you pitch the idea of like Monster Mafia
Yet we're
families running
getting-
Chicago, it sounds a lot cooler than they made it. It was terrible.
But yet we're getting NCIS New Orleans this season, which is just an hour of wasted television.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
And
It's Scott Bakula.
40 million people are going to watch it.
Oh yeah. Because Mark Harmon is probably going to executive produce it, and he needs to get Big Bang money per episode.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So Supernatural is high on my list. I'm really excited about it. I'm also excited about the return of Elementary. It's October 30th. It'll be in season 3 this year. Everybody's giving me the knee face.
I like that show.
I
No,
watch it.
I like it.
I watch it religiously every week, but I don't know that it's a show I watch while I'm doing something else. To be honest with you, it does not get my full attention. I don't know. I could live without it.
Anything
But I
about
enjoy it.
Sherlock, I'm into now. Ever since I started watching the Sherlock
The
on
BBC.
BBC, I
Yeah.
love
See,
it.
I watched that too, and I'm the same way with that.
I saw a few episodes of Elementary with my dad, and I liked it a lot. And I haven't yet to start fresh with it and watch it myself, but I plan to. It's really good.
Yeah, Johnny Lee Miller's great.
How can you not love the
And
BBC?
Lucy Liu.
With Cumberbatch in it. That's a great show.
I mean, I love the Martin
And you
Freeman.
only
He was
have
great in
another
Fargo.
year and a half to
Yeah.
wait for
Well,
it.
what I really like about
the
it,
last season finale of Sherlock I watched is kind of...
It pissed me off.
it kind of made me mad too. But the good thing about that show I like that they do 3 1 hour, 1 hour and 20
Hour and
minute
a half,
episodes,
yeah.
hour and a half, and they're movie quality. And yeah, you wait a year and a half, but you're waiting a year and a half for 3 more movies basically. And when it's all said and done, you basically have for 3 seasons we have 9.
I think they're having
good
trouble scheduling.
Martin
'cause
Freeman and
they're
Benedict.
so busy
Lots
now.
of
No,
movies.
who produces that show? Who created that show?
Stephen Moffat.
Same guy who
Mark
does Doctor
Gatiss.
Who.
The guy who plays Mycroft in the show is the other producer.
So, is there more than one person in England producing television?
There is, but I guess the
Only one
BBC
doing
likes to
good
hire
television.
the most sexist one they can find. So that's
okay.
why Stephen Moffat is like winning at British television. Stop it, Britain! Hire someone else.
Stop it, Britain. All right, so Supernatural. So
And Elementary.
Elementary.
I'm really psyched for Justified. It comes out. The 6th season premieres on January 7th.
which season is it?
6th.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's the last season. They've already said.
Thank God. It's another show.
Thank God.
It's another show I watch religiously. I watch it every week. I record it. I watch it the night it comes out. But the time, the first 2 seasons, I would sit down and stare at the television and not move for 40 minutes because I'm watching a DVR of it. But now it's...
Oh my God. I will actually turn on my television and go to that channel and sit through commercials to watch it as it airs. It is stunning. It is the best picture of the South.
It is a good picture of the South.
So well. It's produced well. The acting is phenomenal. Timothy Olyphant and Walton Goggins.
Where are they filming at?
It's filmed in LA, actually.
In LA?
North of LA, but yeah.
Wow.
But they do a really good job of making California look like Kentucky.
They do. Because that's what Kentucky looks like.
But,
I've driven through that town in Kentucky, I thought. Apparently I haven't.
Yeah, Harlan's an armpit, and they don't pull any punches about that. And it's so great. Just the way that the story arcs have gone, the 4th season especially with Jim Beaver from Supernatural and Deadwood was incredible.
Oh, yeah.
It was one of the best seasons of television I've ever seen. So I'm really psyched about it.
And
I'm psyched that they're planning to go out, that they're planning this to be the final season, so that they don't just sort of trickle off.
So they have an end game. They have an end game. They have a place to head to.
Yeah, and I think the real question for season 6 is going to be, can Raylan get over his own assholishness to become a decent human being?
But do you want him to?
I'm guessing he's not.
Yeah, I don't want him to. But FX, I want to say this real quick about FX and the CW. Those are 2 networks that are creating some really great television.
And you got FXX, which is the new comedy channel.
Yeah, and
It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
But I watch a lot of shows on FX. I don't watch Louis C.K. or the show Louis. I don't watch.
Show.
I've heard good things about it. I don't watch it, but they have 2 new shows out. You Are the Worst and Married. Married with Nat Faxon, who's hilarious, and the other one, You're the Worst, and they are 2 of the funniest shows I've ever seen. I mean, just they push the limits just like they do with Sons or any of their other dramas. They're doing that now with comedy, with original scripting comedy, and it's
also on FX, Archer.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah,
which is coming out in January.
That's a fantastic, and I never miss that. See, now I will sit down and watch all 20 minutes of Archer, but when it comes to Justified, it's meh. But the cartoon I will sit down and watch, which probably says a lot about my psyche.
It's a great cartoon, though. And I know you love Archer, too.
I do, too.
Yeah, it's a great show.
Zeb, my husband, it's Archer is his I'm sitting on the couch. That's the default thing that's on. I think we've seen every episode,
My 14-year-old has watched it. Actually, I'm pretty sure I pushed him into watching it when he was 13, which may not be illegal. But he's obsessed with it too. So yeah.
Yeah.
All right, what else you got?
Brooklyn Nine-Nine is coming back this fall. It's coming out on the 28th of September. Has anybody watched Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
I watch it on Hulu on occasion, not appointment. It's oh, we want something fun to watch while we're eating dinner. We'll turn that on and watch an episode of it, kind of even out of order. And we think it's really funny, but it is not in the regular rotation for us.
I thought it was a complete travesty that it wasn't nominated for an Emmy for Best Comedy, and I think it's also a travesty that Big Bang Theory won.
But Sandberg won one last year, didn't he?
I don't know.
He won an Emmy last year.
Well, this was his first year. This was his first season.
He won. I could have swore that he won. So anyway.
I love comedy, and I've not gotten around to watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and I want to.
So good. Terry Crews plays this he is a sergeant at this precinct, and he named Terry, and he is hilarious. I would watch this man do anything, and he's this big brawn dude, and he just falls asleep while doing pull-ups. But he's got 2 little girls at home named Cagney and Lacey.
Oh, it was a Golden Globe.
I gotta watch that, but I'm gonna start fresh. I'm gonna watch the whole thing. I'm sure I'll like it.
The redheaded bastard stepchild of the award seasons.
But Brooklyn Nine-Nine, it's really
It won at the Golden Globes. In the Golden Globes in January of this year, it won for Best Comedy Series and Best TV Comedy Actor for Andy Samberg. So it's gotten some recognition.
And I would say Andy Samberg is not the best part of that show. So
now who's his partner?
Melissa Fumero plays Amy.
No, the dude, the guy.
Oh, Joe LaPaglio.
So
Detective Boyle.
That guy is funny in whatever role he plays.
He does a lot of drunk histories, and he's really funny in drunk history. Yeah. Anyway, Hannibal, season 3 of Hannibal. Nobody.
Not into Hannibal.
I watched the first episode,
guys are
first
killing
few episodes, and I love the Mads Milliken. The Mads. Okay,
Mikkelsen.
The guy. I have a stupid name.
He's foreign.
He has a stupid Swedish name because his first name is Mads.
His brother's the guy in the last episode of Sherlock.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I just have this image
The guy
in
who
my head
can
of him
remember
being-
everything.
Yeah.
Anyway,
It's a beautiful show. It makes murder
he does wear nice suits.
gorgeous.
Beautiful suits.
So, Agents of Shield.
It's on my list too.
How does everybody feel about Agents of Shield?
I am stoked for the second season.
I refuse to watch
I'm a lot more.
Well, you refuse to watch it. Why do you refuse to watch
it.
it?
I thought it was so bad when it started. How could it have possibly gotten better?
Oh, it got so good.
You know, I'm with you, and I only stuck with it because I'm a completist. I want to see the whole thing.
No, it's the weed
am
and slow
the
burn.
last-
It's the weed and slow burn.
the
So they must
last
have flipped
10
at 180 if it's decent.
Absolutely.
And really, like, once I got to the end of the season, I felt a lot better about the beginning of the season because you can see how they're setting up all the pieces and building the blocks toward the big reveal toward the end of the season.
Costumes need to fire the costume department though.
And whoever does
The
the
fucking
guns and
Deathlock look
That
kinda
fucking
ridiculous.
Deathlock look is horrible. I mean, the guy
is
looks like
bad
he's
Deathlock.
wearing a laser tag
And that's
vest.
J. August Richards, who's so great. And
But yeah, the show did get good, Josh. It really
Okay.
did. And they brought on Lucy Lawless, who's going to be on this season. Adrian
Who
Palicki.
are they playing?
Adrian Palicki is playing Mockingbird, or the character, or the agent that becomes Mockingbird in the comics. Lucy Lawless, I don't know that they've
she
revealed.
replacing Victoria Hand.
She's not replacing her. Victoria Hand's
Well,
dead.
but I mean,
she taking
well,
over
really,
that.
who knows how they're going to do it? Because after Cap 2, there's no more Shield, so they're
true.
the Agents
Well,
of
not
Shield.
technically. That's not accurate.
Oh,
No, because
That's
at the
what
I was- Well, I
end
mean,
of the
I guess.
season,
hold on. Breaking news from Anthony.
well, it's not breaking news. I mean, if you watch the
People know
end of the
about it.
last episode, Fury gives Coulson the little
The
cube
box,
to
yeah.
kickstart Shield again.
We were discussing.
But it has to be done covertly. They're not going to be the same Shield because they won't have
They won't have any public
Well, we don't
trust,
know what
for
kind
one
of-
thing.
public
don't
trust,
know
but they also won't have any
Doesn't
government
trust them
funding.
anymore.
I mean, it's going to be up to the secret bases of, Nick Fury
But
in order.
thank God Patton Oswalt is still alive.
My problem with
What is
Shield.
Patton Oswalt? Is it just a series of?
It says here she's playing.
Live model decoys.
It says Lucy Lawless is portraying veteran SHIELD agent Isabel Hartley, who assists director Coulson. This is on time.com. Director Coulson with his unenviable task of rebuilding SHIELD into the formidable spy agency it once was.
Good luck, Coulson.
So that's a lot of interesting stuff there because I guess Fury's still in hiding, so Coulson becomes the de facto hero. I wonder how Maria Hill feels about that.
Well, Maria quit S.H.I.E.L.D. She's working for a private company and contracting.
She's working for Stark.
Yeah.
yeah.
So,
That's right.
because we saw her.
But
we
she's-
saw her in Cap 2, but then we see her again, like, toward the end of the
But she did an entire episode of Agents. Is Kobe Smulders going to be on this season? I mean, she needs a gig.
Yeah, I don't know.
How I Met Your Mother's over, so
She's going to parlay it into a career in
maybe
the Marvel
maybe.
universe.
But what kind of bugs me about that show is if you don't like the show and you decide I give it a second chance. I say I don't really like this. I don't want to watch it. I have to watch it to know what's going on in the Marvel movie because they do
it's
things
all
in the
intertwined
show
so much.
that come up in the next coming Marvel movie, and then it's like I'm lost here. What happened?
The,
I don't think it's
tie-in
necessarily
episode with
that.
Thor was really
It
well
changes
done.
It
things
was.
because if
It
you
gives you
and it's
added
in movie and a
fluff.
movie, you have to watch all the movies and the show to really, really know what's going on.
And then you're gonna hate it when they start the Netflix.
But that's the thing with
Yeah,
in the comic book world, a lot
because I
of
like
time.
movies. I don't want to watch the TV.
But it's interesting you say that because in the comic book world, a lot of times they'll do large events, large multi-issue events, and then they'll do tie-in issues.
These
that
are called crossovers for those playing at home.
They are, but a lot of the times they
To make you
the tie-in books aren't
like,
necessary
more of it.
to enjoy the arc.
They're not necessary to enjoy it, but it would be nice to know. Say if you didn't like Captain America, which I do, and I love the second one, Winter Soldier. But
Black
say
Widow.
you just didn't want to watch it, and you would miss all of Shield being no more and all that happening at the end of that movie, and you'd go into the next movie like, what happened?
You should watch it because one, it deserves to be watched.
Well,
It
basically,
introduces-
it's them selling it to where you should spend the most money possible.
Well,
Let's tie it all
it is
together.
on- yeah.
Well, I mean, they aren't a nonprofit.
Yeah. Well, if you like it all, then it's great. But if maybe there's some things you like and some things you don't, it's annoying.
Okay, but in contradiction to that, Jeff Johns, the chief creative officer for DC Comics, has come out and said that the DC cinematic world and television world aren't going to be intertwined; they'll be separate. So, Stephanie, does that segue into anything else you want to talk about that you're excited about this season?
Yeah, and thank you for lobbing that softball for me
You're welcome.
Transition into. I'm so excited about the Flash.
Oh, me too. I get the world's fastest Woody when I talk about the Flash.
Oh man.
Like, it's already come and gone, Josh.
okay,
Yeah,
okay.
I mean, it was there, and now you missed it because you were like,
Good.
yeah, you turned away.
Well,
So, yeah,
let's
the
talk
Flash.
about the Flash some more so that Josh can feel uncomfortable sitting next to you.
Do you watch Arrow, Josh?
I told him I would, and I forgot.
But you don't. Okay,
Forgot.
you forget to feed the cat, but you forgot to watch an entire season of television.
Yeah.
2 seasons.
Can you imagine a guy with no shirt doing pull-ups looking intense for
Yeah.
half
Oh,
the
here we
episode?
go.
No, I'm
Here we
sorry.
go. Because
I'm sorry.
Anthony does not like Arrow,
It's
right?
not
No, I do
pull-ups.
not like-
It's not
the
Green
salmon
Arrow.
Ladder.
From what I've seen.
Whatever.
No, you don't like Arrow, but you come from an old school comic background.
And I'm with him
So-
on this one. 'Cause
So tell us why you don't like it. I know you said Flash, but I think in order to get to Flash, we got to start with
You
Arrow.
gotta go
I was
through
psyched about
to
Arrow,
get
but I
the
know
Flash.
it was on your list, so I
Well-
was going to let you talk about it.
Well,
and
let's just
not
have the
take
group
up my time.
discussion now with both of it. So let's just start with Arrow. Anthony, why don't you like Arrow?
I don't know. I just, from what I've seen of Arrow, and I've seen a lot of it because my fiance is very much into the Arrow. It feels like that they're trying to make the Nolan Batman movie with bows and arrows on TV.
I can't tell you how tired I am of it's Batman with the worst backstory.
It is.
That's
I mean,
what
the
it
character-
started from.
The character
right?
was created.
Yeah,
It was kinda ripped
originally,
off back
Green Arrow was, but they diverged those characters with
Yeah.
totally different personalities. And, you had Batman as very conservative and straightforward and law-abiding, and then you had Arrow that was very liberal for the common man, jovial. He smiles and cracks
And didn't he
jokes.
look completely different in the
Look-
comic than the TV show?
Totally different.
Well, yeah, he has his most classic appearance in comic books. He looks
He has a
looks
hood
like
on.
Robin Hood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
He's
like
got a
that.
little yellow beard and a little Pied Piper style hat and all that kind of stuff.
And the goatee.
And it's not like it makes it more believable running through the city shooting bows and arrows without a hood. I mean, what's the difference in what you're wearing? You're still being a vigilante.
He's still, but the show is, yeah, that's his new 52 appearance.
Which I think takes the TV show very into account when they're doing the art for the New 52 Arrow. Which
That doesn't
I've
look half
enjoyed
bad.
the New 52 story of it,
This is his most classic one.
which is unlike a lot of the
Yeah, I like
New
that.
52 things.
But anyway,
You don't think that would work in TV?
Arrow.
I'm psyched for season 3 of Arrow.
I'm psyched for season 3 of Arrow
They've
as well.
left the show in such an interesting place. They've really set up all the
But they've
characters.
neutered all of his arch enemies.
Not all of them.
I think they'll find somewhere to go, and I think that.
They are tearing through enemies. Like for a while, it was like a new one every week.
But that's cool. I like the villain of the week thing, and again, in contradiction, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. takes shit because it doesn't have any recognizable characters.
'Cause they're
And
saving them
here,
all for the
you're getting a
cinematic
villain of the week, a la Batman 66. So, and Arrow is, I don't
least
know.
he's
I've
not
not seen the
his Flash
numbers.
boner.
I've not seen the numbers between. I've not seen the numbers between Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Arrow. My gut tells me that Arrow probably didn't start off as well as Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. did, but it's probably a week to week has an
It's one of their most
has
successful
an equal
shows on
to-
Arrow now.
somewhere. They got to be doing somewhat close numbers, and for the CW to compete with ABC on that level says something. So I think they got something there. I think it's worked. It's worked for 2 seasons. I like where they're going with it. I like the fact that it's even crossing over to the comic book world. And 2 of the writers of the TV series are coming on for the new run in the comic books, which I'm personally very excited about.
And I like what they're doing with the universe. Like the whole daughter of Ra's al Ghul showing up in Starling City, and even though
We haven't seen Talia.
we haven't seen Talia, and the Manu Bennett was great as Deathstroke. Like he was just wonderful. I don't know if he's going to be in season 3 a lot. He's,
He's locked by himself in a room below the island.
it's true. So I don't know what's going to happen.
Did
with
Oliver
that.
buy the island?
don't know. They're at the island a lot for it to be such a remote island.
I mean, he's been back to the island twice now.
Yeah. But the whole thing with him having left the island and being involved with Argus and Amanda, like...
Yeah, that's a cool twist with him in China. And it'll be neat to see the island episodes with him actually running around China.
So when the intro says that he spent 5 years on a deserted island, that is a little misleading.
But it doesn't sound as dramatic to go, he spent 5 years, more or less, on this island. You know, I mean, with a little side trip to China. Okay, but we started this. We talked about Arrow. Let's talk about Flash.
Yeah.
So Flash was introduced last season in a 2-episode crossover or backdoor pilot for the Flash, which has been picked up.
Yeah.
So Grant Gustin will be playing the Flash.
I like the way they introduced Barry Allen. He's an interesting character. He's very much not at all like Oliver, which I think is interesting. So they're really setting up a divide between those two characters, with Felicity as the common denominator there.
Love Felicity.
I love Felicity. She's wonderful. She's such
Felicity.
a smart aleck. I appreciate that.
Now, how do you feel about the way they started Arrow out, where it was all ultra realistic, no superpowers, everybody's perfectly normal. In fact, all these supervillains that in the comic had superpowers now are totally normal humans with quirky names. And then they end it with, boom, oh my god, all of a sudden there's a guy with superpowers.
Well... but they're building it from a scientific place.
Dude, don't break down the science.
Oh, I'm not trying to break down the science. I'm just saying, like, you're very right. Like, they were not superheroes. Like, Oliver wasn't endowed with any kind of superpower. He's just trained for years and years to be amazing.
Here's what it comes down to, man.
So.
I think they had an idea. Nobody, not Greg Berlanti, not anybody expected Arrow to do what it is doing or what it did after such a short time, because it was popular instantaneously. I was stoked to watch it before it came out. Everybody talks about it. It's a great show, and nobody had those kind of hopes for it. A lot of people argue about Guardians of the Galaxy being C-level characters, and nobody would go watch the movie because nobody knew who they were.
And look what happened.
But, I mean, yeah, exactly. But the same thing happened. It already happened with Arrow once.
Well,
not that everybody didn't know who Green Arrow was or that he was a C-level character, but he definitely was not a Batman, Superman level character. He was definitely at least a B-level Justice Leaguer.
If it's good, people are going to watch it.
And that's the thing. It was well done. It was done. There's no shortage of attractive people on the show.
The entire CW network I think they hire guys pre-installed with a shirt allergy. So
they might. But it took off and went somewhere. So they had a concept to not do the superpowers. But then when it proved out that it was going to be something more than just a fly-by-night,
they're like, let's cash in.
Well, no, they were like,
the
okay,
character.
well now we have the chance to not only tell our story, but to tell a much bigger, broader story. We have the trust of the public, we have the trust of the network. So I think they're bending their own rules, and I think that that's okay. I think they're maturing and they're growing, and that's going to come through in Flash. I think they'll stick with, on Arrow, you won't see the superpowers, but in the Flash, there will be superpowers, and I think they're going to try that. You know.
But Josh, you said you saw the Flash trailer and you didn't like it, didn't you?
Well, I will give it this. It looks a little more close to like it would make Anthony happier, because it looks like he looks
more
like the
comic
Flash.
book. Yeah.
Yeah, and that I like about it.
See, I'm so excited to watch the Flash that I won't watch the leaked first episode. Unlike Constantine, which again I was excited to watch, but I was okay watching that ahead of time. But the Flash,
this is big.
The Flash, I want
Hypothetically.
to sit there in my Christmas tree, pajama pants on the couch with my bowl of popcorn and the lights off, going, "Ooh, supernatural than the Flash." I mean, it makes my nipples hard just thinking about it.
It's not that I think the trailer looks
And guess what,
bad.
Flash? I had my Woody just again for a second.
You got
You have a lot of bodily reactions
I do.
to superheroes.
I do.
It's not that I think it looks bad either. It's that I'm so scared they're going to do it and it's just going to look cheesy, because I have a low tolerance for cheesy effects in TV. Anthony knows this. It drives me nuts.
That's why you
my
don't watch
thing.
anything on the
That's why I
CW.
rarely watch action genre on TV anyway, unless it's HBO or done really well. And there's very few shows that aren't comedy that I watch on TV.
But it's HBO, it's not TV.
That's true. But at least in HBO and even on History Channel and a lot of other shows now, you're getting good action.
All right, folks, there we have it. Episode 1 of Pop Culture Hangover. We hope you've enjoyed it. Feel free to holler at us at any social media outlets simply by searching Pop Culture Hangover. We'll be back next week with part 2 of this conversation about fall TV and what we're looking forward to and what we're dreading. Until next time.